So, last time you guys made a daring escape from the hobgoblins. It wasn't ultra daring, but you guys managed to handle that pretty well, and decided to make your way towards the Moon Peaks. You have your guide, which is Johan the gnome, and Johan was basically kind of showing you a trail that kind of led through old elven territory that skirts the edge of dwarf territory from long ago. And you ran across a group of interesting people. One of them who happened to be a half dragon, or something akin to that, a dragon-looking humanoid, and some other people of a clerical nature. They were very kind, and you guys just decided to go on by with your merry way, and they let you go. And then I think when we left off, basically you were making camp. That was the thing. You were making camp before heading up into the mountain range. So basically at the bottom of the kind of where the mountain range starts to go up. Does that all sound right? Am anything I'm not?
I think that's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I think that's it.
Okay. Well then let me go ahead and move us down to here. Everyone should be able to see this, or yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Should see like a little campsite. If you want to drag your characters into said little campsite. So basically, this is a little tuck away. I figured it'd be a good, secure place for you guys. You can't. There's only one way in and out, so thus you can kind of just guard one exit. You don't have to worry about people coming up behind you. It's a little inlet, basically, with a little natural flowing spring in it.
I will observe that this is a great place to defend with a fresh flowing natural water source, which means that it is probably known by all of the local denizens of this place, and we should expect to, be ambushed and or encountered upon. We are somebody else's random encounter.
How many guards did you have? 8?
There's
Yeah.
four light lancers and 4 mounted archers.
Okay. Well, we'll do different guys. I've got 4 light lancers, and then I know I had a guy. Oh, there we go. Guard with crossbow.
They can have fire too, though. We can share.
They make their own little camp off to the side. I'm like, you guys kind of hang out. They know each other,
That's fair.
so they're willing to. They just kind of, party up over here. They're not unfriendly, is what I would say, but they just kind of keep to themselves. Y'all are a job,
True.
so
And what a job.
and what a job it is.
High maintenance prima donnas.
That is true. So
Many corpses.
you're in this little like inlet. It is starting to go. It's like 6 o'clock is what I'm gonna say. It's the light's gonna set around 7, so you still have a little bit of light left, but you're breaking down camp and getting everything set up before the day completely breaks. You had a long kind of arduous cross barony trip. Is there anything anyone wants to do in particular? Are you guys setting up watches? What are you guys gonna do? Are you gonna leave it up to your guards to set up watches?
Up to you guys. How you guys want to do it?
I would recommend that our dowdy dwarves, as always, use their steely-eyed stare into the darkness to our benefit. If you guys want to take a watch each, Vance would help, but you know that he's really mean in the morning if he doesn't get his 8 hours.
I'll take a watch. I'll take the first watch.
Yeah,
I'll take
and
the- I only
I
take
would-
the last watch.
So
I would take a watch too, but you know, I need to shut down.
Boop, boop, boop.
So there's 4 watches. So far, 1 dwarf has each end. I don't know if anyone is taking the 2 middle, or you're going to rely solely on your others.
Ryan, do clerics also need like 8 hours in prayer to re-get their spells? I imagine. I don't
they
know if
do.
that's a later edition thing.
Yeah, they do. They need sleep.
Okay.
So they need to get their rest and to get their beauty sleep in and all. So and we'll have one of each type guard. We'll take a shift as well. So there'll at least be 2 other people on shift with anyone else.
Does Arnie have to rest to get his darkness back, or is that the sword power?
The sword comes back at actually it's about to regenerate like at dusk every day.
Nice.
He gets it back.
So not to volunteer Arnie, but as the other like heavy bruiser ass kicker, I know who I would want keeping an eye out.
Who can see in the dark perfectly.
Right. Yeah.
Arnie will 100% take a watch.
Okay.
Ooh.
If Johan is interested in a sweet invisibility charm, then I'll help him out too. I don't know if he's the kind of gnome interested in such a thing.
He's like, no, thank you. I'd prefer to be able to see my dingo when I take a pee.
Gotta learn how to work by feel. It's important in a dungeon.
He's like, oh, I understand. He's like, I understand the magics, and I just don't. No, I don't know how your large friend stays like that all the time. It would be unnerving. But I do appreciate it.
Yeah, well, in that case, Vance rolls over invisible in his sleeping bag.
Okay.
When everybody's murdered, he will survive.
Johan will volunteer to take the other watch. So because there was a gap, so there's 4. So basically, you got a dwarf, you got Arnie, Johan, another dwarf.
Think we could have like 1 bowman and 1 what were they, cavalry?
Yeah,
Each on a watch.
Yeah, I said there's going to at least be two other people on each watch. So they're gonna do that too, as part of the pay. Let's do some rolling.
Nice little map.
Yeah, I found this one. All right, so first watch. Who was on the first watch?
That would be Thondon.
So Thondon, you're on the first watch, and you start like feeling the ground, and there's a rumbling. And then as you kind of look up on the cliffside, like, over in this direction, some light rocks start coming down a little bit. Like, not heavy, not like huge boulders or anything, like pebbles. Start like, in a little bit of dust.
Yeah, I think that would be enough to wake everybody and bring them to the attention of that. So I'll start saying, "Hey, there's something going on," quite loudly.
Okay. I assume that's enough to rouse people from their sleep. I don't think anyone's specifically trying not to do that. Unless anyone wants to sleep through it, they can. That's your option.
I have a question.
Yep.
How light a sleeper is this shutdown state Horus goes into?
It's roughly equivalent to human sleep.
Ah, okay. I think we're all waking up then, yeah?
Yeah.
It's up to y'all.
Arnie's in alert.
Vance is going to roll over and wait for an actual kick to the ribs, I think.
Okay. So Vance is still doing some snoozing.
Until a boulder falls on him and I have to make a new character, this is going to be a great play. Trust me, guys.
So what are y'all doing? I'm talking.
I'm going to grab my crossbow and just have it ready.
Okay, you have a crossbow ready.
I'm gonna investigate where the rocks landed.
Okay, they all landed over here by like this big pile that's like kind of. And
Okay, I'll go over here.
they're much smaller than those rocks even being depicted. Like I said, they're the size of your thumbnail, maybe half of your thumb at biggest. You know what I mean? They're like little chips.
You guys want me to toss a light pebble up there?
No,
Sure.
give it a second. Here, Arnie wants to
Yeah.
float up. Here, let Arnie float up and see
Do
what
I-
it is.
With my infrared vision, do I see any type of heat signature come
No.
on like above the?
No, you don't really see any heat signature or anything.
What about Arnie with his perfect vision?
Yeah, Arnie, you don't see anything in particular either. Like I said, it kind of cascaded down a couple of rocks, and there was a little bit of dust, but that was about it. How far up are you going to go? This is the side of a mountain, so it goes several, 1,000 feet.
Can I see if there's like a trail or an opening anywhere near? Like I'd say 20 feet up, 40
You-
feet up that I can see.
You go up 40 feet, you don't see a trail. I'm talking to get up the trail, and I'm going to put that in quotes. You would have to exit out where the water is, and then go around, basically. Like, this is just a convenient little, like, campsite.
All right. Then I'll go back down and say it was hard to see anything. It looked like there's nothing up there. Or hard for anything to be up there, at least.
Maybe it was a false alarm. I just heard a noise, and I that might be my fault.
I appreciate the alertness.
I'm going back to sleep then.
Arnie, do me a favor. Roll a wisdom check. The threshold modifier is +4.
I'm trying to. It's not letting me. I'm clicking on it, but it's not bringing up the.
You can just roll a d20.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
roll a d20 and add 4 to it.
Oh?
Okay. What's Arnie's wisdom? I assume it's over 7.
I believe that to be the case.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yes, actually, Arnie's quite wise. So, as you're floating down, and you're like telling them, like, yeah, I don't see anything, you notice, because you have such good vision at night, over here, like on a rock's ledge, there's a nest. It's kind of a large nest. I would say, like, I'm talking, this isn't like a sparrow's nest. This would be something like a bigger bird, or bigger creature, is what I would say. It's not really, it's more of a burrow than it is a nest. Don't imagine your classic, like sticks in a circle. Imagine more of just like grasses and things that are brought there, and just kind of like a soft spot. But you do see 3 like eggs that are there that are probably about the size of maybe a child's football.
Owl bell.
They're slightly leathery to the touch.
Don't
How-
touch them and find out.
Wait,
how leathery
yeah,
they are.
wait a second. How would he know if they're slightly leathery to the touch?
Oh, okay. How about slightly leathery to the look? Oh, I think we lost him. We lost
Eric.
We lost Eric. He's coming back. Are you back? Eric, are you there? Hello?
Is back.
I know he went in. We just
I think his mic broke.
Oh no, I
Oh,
lost
we go.
my internet. I'm on the phone.
Ah,
okay.
that's problematic.
Somebody must have picked up the phone.
Damn. No one remembers that.
I got a 3.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm old
Not
enough
my
for that
Napster
too.
download.
So I've been explaining this for like 5 minutes because I thought you were here listening. But so as Arnie is floating back down and you're saying like, yeah, there's nothing. You notice that there's like a kind of a nest or like a soft kind of like patch of grass with these eggs in them. They're roughly about half the size of a football, and they have a leathery appearance. So I don't know. Do you want to do something with that, or do you just want to come back down? We might have lost him again. All right, I'm going to assume Arnie is not doing anything with them at the moment.
Arnie, come on back down.
Yeah. Hey, is it working now? All right.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
coming
yeah.
down.
Okay, he's coming down. Okay, so
I'm
you come back
telling the
down.
crew. I'm telling the crew about the egg.
They're
Am I
about
the
20
only
feet
one-
up.
Am I the only one that could barely hear Eric?
I can hear him.
Yeah, he's
I
a little
can hear
off,
him, but it's
but
like really like muted. So it's like really hard to really hear
I just
him.
turned up his volume is all.
yeah, if you right click him in Discord, I crank the volume up and it helped.
Okay. Okay.
So he comes back down and tells everyone that there's some eggs up there. I don't know if anyone wants to do anything about that or not.
Do you guys know what eggs these might be from? Also, like, is there a path that leads up to the eggs, or are they just like somewhere that only a flying creature would be able to get to?
I'm not going to say only a flying creature, but I would say that they're not readily accessible to y'all. You could theoretically like throw a grappling hook up there and try to climb it, or you could try to mountain climb it. So it is accessible. It's just not easy.
Alright. Yeah, you guys have any idea of what that could be?
Yeah, just some eggs. I feel like we could leave it some food and be on our way. Sleep through the night. Hello, Morgan?
Yeah.
So, all right.
We can take 'em.
Y'all just gonna go back to bed? Do anything in particular?
I believe it's my watch next.
It is. Okay. So I'm going to assume everyone goes back to sleep.
Yeah.
And so at this point, it becomes very dark. Extremely dark. And Arnie, with your, like, dark vision that you're kind of just, like, watching around and everything and taking a look, you notice that the water on your watch, as the water is flowing, it glows ever so like lightly. It has a like almost a luminescence about it, a light kind of like a almost a greenish kind of aura to it. And you can kind of follow it with your night vision, like as it goes out and around the corner. It kind of like it almost like lights up for you. Like your like there's something about it and your vision that kind of sync up, and it kind of like is a like a bright source for it. Basically, it really kind of like amplifies the ambient light in the area.
I'll go up to it, check it out.
It's water, and it's flowing down into that little cave right there.
Could I collect some of it?
Sure.
I believe I might have an oil flask or a flask.
You probably have an oil flask. You would have to dump out the oil.
We have a lot of empty spell flasks, potion flasks.
Yeah, I have a water skin.
So you're gonna dump out your water and fill it up with this water?
Yeah, I have 2 water skins. 1 water skin now,
Okay.
and then given a water skin for glowing water.
Yep. Now I will say, when you were when a couple hours ago, the water wasn't glowing, or it didn't appear to be glowing, but now it does. So just something to note.
Yes, I will keep that somewhere visible on me. And I guess I'll walk closer to my friends and keep watch. Keep on
Okay.
keeping watch. See if anything happens over there. And see if the water gets brighter.
Okay. So as you sit and watch, the water doesn't really change, and then your watch comes, and I think Johan was after you, and he'll take over.
So I'll ask Johan if he notices anything weird about this water.
He's like, "Hi, it's got a little bit of a glow."
Yeah, I got it from over there. That's where it seems to be glowing the most. And I
Right.
point to where the water was coming from.
He's like, "Must be fairy water."
Fairy water. What's that?
I don't know, water that the fairies did things to.
All right, cool. I'm going to sleep.
Probably make your teeth glow and your pee turn green. Is your pee green already?
Not that I know of. Most of the time it's invisible. So.
That is a problem.
He's hydrated.
So
Johan, for being a white-bearded, 170-year-old woodland creature, I'm not liking your lack of curiosity.
So he so who's the next watch is Oakenshield, correct?
I'm on the last one. Yeah.
Right, after Johan is Oakenshield.
Yes.
Okay. So when you wake up, Oakenshield, for your watch, you see this.
Oh no. Oh no, don't tell me Johan's dying too.
You see, when you wake up, Johan, and he's just kind of sitting on the ground, and you see another gnome that you have never seen in your life, and they're both conversing back and forth in a language, I don't know, I don't think dwarves know Gnomish. So since
Well, actually, I think I do.
Oh, okay. If you know Gnomish, then they are talking up a storm.
But hold on, I think I do.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I know Gnomish.
okay, then they're just talking. They're literally talking about home and things like that. Like, oh, you're headed up into the mountains. Oh, I just came from the mountains. Yeah, and they're just socializing and talking back and forth, like nothing sinister. But as you wake up, you hear their kind of their distinct thick accents that you haven't heard in a long time, of people talking active Gnomish together. It's a very fast language.
I'm just going nothing married to. I'm just going 10. I'm still sleeping to kind of see what they're talking about.
Like I said, they're really just kind of shooting the shit.
Oh yeah, I just want to make sure that they would just.
Yeah, there's no hey, let's kill these guys in their sleep kind of talk.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. It's just, it's nothing you would find reasonably suspicious. It's literally oh my god, my mom used to make that recipe when I was little too. I couldn't stand it. Like it tastes like the bitter end of a bird's ass, and stuff like that.
What? Do we have some type of alcohol, like beer, with us or no?
Don't know, do you?
We have
Oh.
dwarven beer. We have really old alcohol. Like all of our alcohol, we have found in a dungeon.
All of your alcohol you have found in a dungeon.
So, okay.
But don't go through Vance's stuff. That's
So
medicine.
I'll just get up. I'll walk over there, and I'll pull out the cheese of the real cheese I got, and in Nomish, I go cheese.
So they'll like look up, and the one that you don't recognize will take a look and go, "Aye, it is. Smells like Orcus cheese to me."
You want some?
I choose not to eat anything that orcs ferment or whatever you do to make cheese. I don't think they use good cheesecloth. I think they use cat gut or something, or not even cats. Probably something grosser than that goblin gut. So, yes, but no. Thank you.
No problem.
So
Okay.
now we know who made the stuff in that bag.
Or at least what
Nah,
some from strange gnome says it is.
and I go, I'm throwing Oaken Shield. You all.
Ha! Nice to meet you, Mr. Oakenshield. I'm Gilly Vickle. Gilly Vickle Wild Wanderer. Traveling salesman extraordinaire.
I go, where are we heading off to?
Well, here's, there's, wherever's. I was thinking about maybe gallivanting off to that elven, place they got in the woods. I can usually find some people that want to buy my things.
What things?
Stuff. Items. He, like, nudges a backpack that he's got on his back. Goods. So, not really so much as services.
Can I see them?
I guess if you want to. Do you got gold or things to trade? I don't normally, I don't really know you. And he'll look over Johan and he goes, can we, and he says in Gnomish really fast. He's like, can I trust him? And he's just like, he kind of gives like a shrug, like, yeah.
I'll pull up like a couple of gold pieces.
Oh, I don't.
Like that.
He goes, that won't be enough for much of what I've got. But,
I got plenty more.
Alright, you. Alright. How about he'll like look at you and like he like puts his like red satchel basically down and like opens it up. He's like, you look like a man of high things. You look like someone who needs a cooking pot. And he like pulls out a cooking pot and he's like, this is the finest cooking pot. It was forged by dwarves. Your ancestors. This pot probably fed your grandfather. It won't break on you. And he like taps on it. See, it's solid. This is it's on special. You can get it 5 gold pieces.
I go, what else you got?
Oh, I see. You're a sophisticated fella. He's like, all right. And he breaks out like what appears to be 3 pieces of bamboo, or like bamboo-like substance, and he kind of like puts them together, and he's like, how about a lovely fishing rod? You can stick it in the hole down there. Maybe you'll catch yourself a whopper.
1 gold?
Ooh, no. I'm afraid this one would have to be 3.
How about let's meet in the middle and make it 2?
Aye, that'll work. Here you go. And do you give him the gold?
I give him the gold.
All right.
Nice haggling, guys.
He's like, now, the rod won't be much use without tackle. I have a wide range of tackle here if you would like to take it and take a look at it, and we can talk about a price to negotiate on the tackle. I've got the string, I've got the baits and the hooks and all of that. So why don't we talk about a price for tackle?
Tackle? How about 3 silvers?
3 silver for tackle. This is the finest tackle. You could catch yourself the largest whale you've ever seen with this tackle. It's unbreakable. It's
Make me an offer.
10 gold. 10 gold and 10 gold means you're stealing it from me. You're stealing it. You hear me?
How about 8?
Oh, sold.
So you're getting robbed.
There you go. Tackle. All the tackle you can tackle. Hey, Master Dwarf. So he
Please tell me the name of this tackle is like shoddy tackle or like worn out tackle.
Looks good. Looks like reasonable tackle. And he has like a nice silk bag that he pulls out, and he's like, he looks in it and he goes, "Oh no, you wouldn't be wanting anything in this one. This is for special clients. You like the tackle and you like the fishing poles, but you wouldn't want anything in here. Most people don't deal with things of a magical nature." Ooh, I shouldn't have said anything. And he'll like put it back in his bag.
And crap. Hold on. One. I go kind of like grab my sword and kind of grab them along because, hey, you don't know about my magical sword, do you?
Oh, you've got the magical sword. What? You can't go 10 feet in this realm without running into a warrior with a magical sword. They got magic swords everywhere. Everyone's got a magic sword. He's like, but not everyone has what I have in these bags. And that's a different story.
Why don't you tell me about these magical
I
items?
I think they might go over your head, personally. I don't know. I'm not trying to be unkind, but I've met many a dwarf in my day, and they're not ones of the most magical nature. You might not understand it.
Out of character, how tall are gnomes usually?
Oh, gnomes are really tiny. Like gnomes, he's probably 30 pounds soaking wet. Like maybe, like he's pretty damn small. Like he's probably 2 to 3 feet tall.
Okay, so
even by dwarven standards, they're small.
to reply back to the over the head thing, because from my point of view, it takes a lot of things to get over my head from your point of view.
Like, oh, that's a dwarven joke. Dwarves are real sensitive about their height. Us gnomes, we don't really care that we're short. Like, you guys seem to have a thing. You're like, oh, I can't be as tall as the humans, so therefore I must feel bad about it or something. He's like, I don't know. I just we and the halflings hang out, and we're fine with our natures. But that was a good one. That was a good one, Master Dwarf. Anyway. So he starts going back to talking to Johann. He's just like, so, how's your mother? And that's kind of where he's at.
I kind of just sit there and just listen.
Okay. They're just sitting and listening, and they're just hanging out. Everyone else in the group, I'm gonna say dawn comes, and you kind of just see like a dwarf and two gnomes sitting there chatting as you guys are kind of all waking up.
Arnie wants to go pee real quick and see what color it is. So
You're invisible, aren't you?
But if you pee in a cup
and then hand the cup to somebody
or on
else.
a rock, see what color the rock turns.
Why are we thinking through the logistics of this?
It's important, Gage.
It's really important that we figure out
Does
what
peeing on a rock count as an attack? I don't know.
So, but yeah, you see one more gnome than you started with, sitting at the camp, or around the camp, and yeah, that's, and the day has come.
Is the water still glowing? Is the water still glowing?
No, it is not.
Alright.
Alright.
Think I can come up to Tasso and Johan and just ask, so who's you guys' friend here?
Oh, aren't you a big one? You're a big old, and he like knocks on your armor like dong dong dong. Oh, that's good. That's solid craftsmanship right there. Aye, Gillyvecker.
Hey, when you a dwarf like me, you can make some pretty good stuff.
Don't even try to think that this was yours.
He looks and he goes, "You did this?"
No, he didn't.
Well, my
An
kind.
emissary. No, your kind didn't. An emissary of Vulcan did this, you showboat.
Yeah, get it right, Oaken Shield.
Slow it down there.
Oh, it looks like there's some sort of big person competition. All right. Well, y'all have fun with that.
So, yeah, I'm just gonna ask, how did you get into our camp?
Oh, I walked. See, there's an entrance, and he points over there. He goes, and there's a hole in it, and I walked in.
I mean, how did you get in without anyone raising an alarm?
Well, I was walking in, and me cousin over here saw me and said, "Hey, come on in."
Oh my god.
And so he goes,
Oh, yo.
he like points around. And he goes, "Do you like own this? Is this yours?"
No.
I've been camping at this spot since I was, knee high to a mushroom.
No, sorry, it's just, we've been attacked on the road a few times, and, I was just, curious as to why.
He goes, "Do I look like I'm going to harass you, big boy?"
I honestly don't know at this point.
Okay.
I go in, and no one goes. He might be a big boy, but he's got no big brains.
Oh there, Master Gnome. Do you care to join us for a bit of grub in the morning? We've only got trail rations for the most part, but there's some saltback, trail biscuit, got a few little treats in here, some dried fruit. You're welcome to break bread with us if you have a moment.
He claps his hands together and like rubs them. He's like, "Aye, that's perfect." He's like, he'll snuggle right up to you. So what do we have?
I remember listening over the night and hearing someone was a salesman around here.
Aye, I sell things.
What?
I'm
what
I'm a tradesman
sorry.
by 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 profession.
I'm gonna hold up one of the iron rations that I keep on me and just like wave it around slightly. If you want this, you can have it.
Sure. That sounds lovely. Let's.
As you're eating like breakfast and stuff, I'm going to go over by the river creek. How deep is it, X?
It's shallow, like it goes up to maybe its deepest goes up to your ankle.
Okay. And right here, that's where the water is coming out, right?
It's not coming out; it's going in. It's flowing into
Oh,
that.
going in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked at it wrong too the first time. It's a hole with the water pouring down, not something that the water is coming out of.
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
that was news to me as well. I would like to try to go up and look at the nest again to see if there was anything over there.
Okay. It's
I'll,
what it's the same as it was
I
last
want
night.
I
No.
want to go with them and kind of look down and see if I see anything.
So your night vision goes out about 60ish feet, and you still haven't hit bottom.
Okay. Hold on.
Could I go over and like get closer to the eggs?
Yeah. I'm talking. You can do whatever you want with them.
While they're doing all this, can I ask, did the gnome say his name?
Yeah, he said it's Gillyvickle.
Ah. Can I ask Gillyvickle like what he sells and that kind of thing?
This is that.
Because we didn't hear it.
This is that's odds and ends.
Anything
I sold your friend a fishing pole.
He's got some magical items that might go over your head.
magical items? I was honestly just about to ask that.
Things, trinkets, little things I
Mi-
might have spun up into the world.
Mind if I take a look, see if I can buy one of them?
I don't know. You don't look like the type that might be able to afford what I'm looking at.
Trust me, I have a bit of gold on me. I have enough.
Well, let's see. Um, he pulls out his silk bag, and he's like, "I do have this." And he pulls out a silver handkerchief.
Ah.
And he's like, he holds it. It's a relatively large handkerchief. It's probably like maybe a foot by like 8 inches, so pretty good size. And he like whips it and like goes like and says a word in Gnomish, which you're not 100% familiar with, and it like flattens out hard as like it looks like steel plate at that point. And then he says the word. He says the word again, and it goes back down into like into the silk.
Oh, interesting. How hard is that when you say the phrase?
I don't know. Pretty hard.
Uh. Do you have anything else magical of nature in there?
Oh, you're not impressed with my thing. Okay, I got you. No, I don't have anything for you, big fella.
Uh. How much is that scarf, by the way?
I don't know. What do you have to trade for it?
Oh, he wants another magical item in return.
Aye.
Well, I pull out. Hey Vance, don't like shoot me down for this because you can make more. I pull out the bag that Vance gave me with 4 light shots in it. And I say, how about some as I call them, light shots? And I open the bag, and like all of the light comes spilling out from it.
You see him like sit there like with a look of like utter like boredom. He's
Ah,
like
come on. Okay.
your friend cast a light spell on rocks.
Yeah, fine.
I crafted something that is an alchemical process that your brain can't even comprehend to make this happen, and you wanted to give me glowing rocks.
And a fair bit of gold.
I already told you I don't need gold. That's not what I'm in the business of.
Well, I don't particularly have any other magic items I feel like giving up for that.
That's why I said I didn't think I had anything for you.
Is he trying to sell us? I'm sorry, I just sat back down.
Oh yeah. Well, he pulled out like a handkerchief, about a foot by 8 inches, and he said like a keyword, and it turned into like sheet metal basically. And then he did a command word, and it went back into a handkerchief.
So he's going to sell us the alchemical process to create such a thing, or just the handkerchief?
Just the handkerchief. But he was basically saying like he doesn't want to sell it; he wants to trade. Like that's his thing.
Right.
He's like, I don't sell these kinds of things that I create. But he was like, I'll give you these shining rocks. And he's like, your friend
Gold.
He's like
gold.
He's like, your friend casts continual light on rocks, and you want me to give you this thing that I created, this amazing process on how to create it, and now you want to give it? Yeah, no.
What
I'll
gold?
ask him if he's got any like weapons.
No. What kind of a person do you think I am? Do you think I'm some sort of savage killer?
Yeah, why do you have weapons?
We have the monopoly on that, friend. Don't worry.
He will look at you, Vance, and you're smoking, and he pulls out a tobacco pouch out of his like magic bag, and he's like, "This, my friend, you might want."
Is it a never-ending tobacco pouch?
And the answer is yes. What is that? It's not Karamarcus gold, is it?
Oh no, this is my own blend. We'll call it the Gillywickle Special, or Gilly's your uncle. He goes, you smoke this, right? And it will come out very, very heavy and thick. And it will fog up and cloud up a room. He's like, but the smoker can see through it.
Oh, that's rather clever. Splendid. You'll forgive me for playing against type, Master Gillywickle, and I'm fascinated both by your handkerchief and the prospect of a good smoke that could also be so tactically useful. Don't get me wrong. But I don't suppose you'd be willing to share some more mundane information with us. We're headed up into the mountains, and hopefully into the hold of the Dwarven kings there. You haven't seen anything on the road we should be aware of, have you?
No, I haven't. I think you're gonna have a hard time getting in, though.
Oh, do tell.
Well, they generally, don't let non-dwarves in. Or gnomes. They let gnomes in. They do they do allow us. But
I was hoping that with sufficient gifts, the Dwarven lords might be persuaded to hear our case. You don't have any insight into that, would you?
They're very honor-bound people. I'm talking, if you try bribing them, they might take offense. I would, if you want to give me gifts, though. I have no honor. I am more than willing to take a gift.
Well, bribery, I think, is perhaps the wrong feeling there. Tribute, weregeld, something to that effect. in recognition of the favor we would ask of the dwarven lords. No, am I sniffing up the wrong stone, as it were?
He goes, they're a very unusual breed up in these mountains. I've traveled the world over, and I've seen many a thing. These are not your Rockholm dwarves. They are an older bunch. They're unusual. They worship a mithril statue, and they're not yeah.
Isn't
what's the
mithril?
statue? Who's the statue about? Who?
They call him
Isn't-
the mithril shield, but they say he's their basically their savior, but he
Do me or Donkey know anything about that or no?
no. You have no idea what he's talking about.
Isn't mithril a elvish crafting component? Like, don't dwarves usually stay away from mithril?
No, they
Oh.
they like themselves. They like themselves any metal. Just because the elves get their hands on it now and again and make things out of it, doesn't mean that the dwarves don't. This place has so many amazing metals and things like that. They come and they sell the humans their rubbish. Their armors and their weapons. That's their rubbish. By the way, the armor and weapons they're talking about, you've seen Gage. They're better than anything that a human could ever do. But he's basically saying like that's their like junk that they're selling to like the humans.
Oh, that's beautiful. I want to be a part of them. I'm gonna ask him. Where are you headed? Like, where are you headed after this?
Probably over to the elf home. Just to
Elf home.
yeah, off in the woods where the elves are.
You mean that ruined elven cathedral?
No, I'm talking about
good.
the woods over there. Something I should know.
Just if you see a ruined elven prayer site, steer clear of it, would ya?
If you know the area, Master Gillyvickle, I wrote it down phonetically. There are unsavory types about. There's some sort of holy site, possibly to Lathander. Maybe I'm not entirely certain, but steer clear of it if that's your normal road.
Gillyvickle's character sheet should be available now. He's in the Mithril City stuff.
I was not even close. I got Wild Water.
But
I transposed the I and the Y, otherwise I was about right.
he will look at he'll look back to you, Vance, and he'll be like, so he's like jiggles the pouch, he's like, why don't we continue our business?
Certainly. I'll be honest, your iron cloth intrigues me. Do you have a larger sample?
No. Once you get about this big, it becomes unstable. I haven't figured out the way to stabilize it yet. So this is about the biggest piece of the cloth I can make for now. It's treated with an alchemical ritual that you got to get special metals. That's why I usually come here, because these guys have all the special metals.
Certainly. That would be super great to get, but I don't know that I have anything I'm willing to give up to the poor guy.
So, yeah, I look for curiosities, things of interest, things that I can study and learn from, and then maybe create new things. So it's all to me about interesting. I like things that are interesting. I don't want your magic swords and your things of that nature. I need things that are interesting.
We have a few curiosities and curios. These gigantic wasp stingers. You could part with one of them, perhaps. Culled from the beasts of the Stonehell.
He's nodding a little bit. He's like, all right, but you could tell he's like, yeah, you're gonna have to sweeten the pot though.
We do have an assortment of. I know that you'd displayed a certain derision toward orcish craft, and I must agree entirely. But they do have a certain tribal flair that the connoisseur can appreciate. I think you might be interested in some of their handicraft. So we've got some necklaces, that sort of thing.
He's like looking around. And you see like he like puts a pair of spectacles on, and he's like looking around like the party. He's like, and he'll look over at whatchamacallit, Oakenshield. He's like, now, what do you have there, Master Dwarf? And he's looking at the parasol that you have.
I go, like I kind of go, oh, this?
Aye, that. I might be interested in something like that.
Depending on what you got.
Well, I've already shown you what I got.
All of it?
That's pretty much all of it. These aren't easy things to make. Also, that cloak you've been wearing, or cape you're wearing, goes, that's rather nice too. I could learn a thing or two from that. It's like, I'll make you an offer. I'll throw in the tobacco, I'll throw in the handkerchief, and he like rattles around in his bag, and he's like, and I'll throw in this. And like he puts it, it looks like a bottle of like like a perfume bottle that you like do the, you get the little like poofer on it, and he's like, and I'll put in a bottle of this.
And I go, what is that?
Goes that
60%
right.
of the time.
He goes, that right there is liquid somnia. You squirt it in your mouth, you'll fall asleep just like this. Sleep harder and better than you've ever slept in your life.
Does it have any like magical properties, Ryan? Like,
well, that doesn't sound normal. So, but you don't have anywhere. You would have to have something to tell.
Hmm.
Like Slavoj Žižek in a bottle.
So I will.
Knock
He's
it
like,
out.
I'll do these 3 for your 2.
I'll ask, how many uses does the perfume use?
Most people are going to use a couple squirts. You probably maybe have 2, maybe 3, depending on the size of the person. Squirts.
What, 3 uses per bottle?
Roughly.
It's just the one bottle, though, right?
Yeah, he's just got the one bottle.
Darn. Should I do it, guys?
Of those things, I think that handkerchief is the most valuable.
Yeah, really.
I'm thinking, like, really all you have to do is, like, wrap it around a guy's hands and you've got instant handcuffs that you can fold into your pocket. Like, that alone is insanely useful.
I'm thinking if I can mimic it. I'm thinking if I could mimic it and we could just, like, stitch a bunch of them together.
Actually, the thing that actually interests me the most is actually the perfume thing.
So, I mean, all of those things are potentially very useful given, in particular circumstances. So, if I'm you, like the traveling cloak that keeps the rain off you and keeps you warm and stuff is great. I don't think I've ever seen you use the parasol thing, even though it's also kind of cool. So, that's the. I'm not going to take your magic items from you, obviously, but that's the kind of trade-off you got to think about.
Yeah.
So what happens if I does he tell do anything if I pull out that rainbow ring and just start looking at it for a little bit?
He'll take a look at it. He's like, if you're putting that out to try to get my attention, you are.
I'm not gonna sell it, but yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
Just flashing it just to be a big man.
No, we don't know much about it, and any information we can get is good.
And I can tell it's got a lot of power in it, but other than that, I'd have to, study it and things. But, Master Dwarf, do we have a deal or not? I'm going to have to be on my way soon enough. And
I go, yeah, we got a deal.
Perfect. And he's like, and he spits on his hand and extends it out to you.
I spit in mine.
Throw in the skillet.
I get the biggest, wettest, spit in my hand and extends it out.
Okay, he puts his tiny hand in yours and you guys shake. So what the things do, because he'll at least explain them and stuff like that. So yeah, the metal acts exactly like the handkerchief acts exactly kind of like Vance as you were thinking. Like you can kind of manipulate it and make it turn into like a steel kind of thing. But what is it? It will never. It's got a safety mechanism in it. Like you can't cut off someone's circulation in essence. So it's non-damaging, but it can be binding. So
okay,
that is something that he's made.
Metal.
It's like a foot square.
It's a little less than that. It's a foot by 8 inches. So handkerchief size, like a large handkerchief. And then you have enough tobacco in the pouch to roll probably 3 cigarettes. That would work. And it makes a 10 by 10 cloud, so 4 squares on the map, 4 squares on the overhead map, not the tactical map, and a 20 by 20. It makes a 20 by 20 cloud. I'm sorry, two hex maps or whatever hex squares.
I gotcha.
A 20 by 20 room, but it will dissipate if you're not in an enclosed space. You know what I mean?
Right.
And what is it? The person who smoked it can see it, but it smokes out pretty quick. About a round will do it. And then
20 by 20 feet, right?
Yep.
I suppose.
And then the sleeping tonic you spray into your mouth, and within a minute you go to sleep. And you're gonna sleep really, really, really hard, and basically in 4 hours you are good to go.
Oh,
that's
so yeah, that's really good.
And so if you're a wizard and/or a cleric or something like that, you can spray it in your mouth. Within 4 hours, you can then memorize spells.
That's nice.
Yeah, they're all useful. They're just not amazing. But neither is the parasol or the cape. So I would classify them all as minor magical items. And unless anyone wants to do anything else, I'm going to call this a scene.
Yeah, Arnie wants to ask Imperius what these leather football-shaped objects are.
He'll say eggs.
Nice.
All right, could Arnie pocket one?
Yeah. If you want to, sure.
One quick thing. You said the sleep perfume's got 3 uses, right?
What is it? Yes. 3 uses.
And the smoke, the tobacco thing,
He's
was
got
enough for 3.
3
Right.
cigarettes. Yeah.
3.
I'm guessing the tobacco is Vance's.
He's the
Ooh,
No.
I was,
Dude,
I was,
I don't have a monopoly on vice. Big ol' egg. I like
kind
it.
of hold on to it for now. Right.
Sorry
So
about that.
No, I'm gonna put it with notable items up there though.
All right.
Yeah. I was
so
gonna hold on to it for now then.
well, you can roll cigarettes and give them out to people. Like you don't have to.
Yeah.
So, but it's just a little something y'all have, and only the smoker though is the one who can see through it, not the whole party.
Yeah.
So, oh, and it will last for a whole turn. Like the smoke.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good then.
Yep.
Think I could. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Tassa, think I could have that scarf.
It's a handkerchief.
Yeah, the handkerchief.
I'll let you see it. I would like it back though.
So why don't you put the handkerchief on your character sheet? And I'll take it out of the group magic items here.
Yeah, I got it out in my character sheet. But I asked Horde, I would like it back though. Once you're done with it.
Yeah, I was just gonna study it like before we left. Like.
It is not. It's not even your kind of magic.
Could figure out anything about
That's
it.
his turn to steal, and he hasn't told us yet.
Oh, everything went slow mo for a second. Sorry. What was that? I didn't hear any. Like
I
maybe
was
the
asking
last.
about the command word for the handkerchief.
Oh, it's a gnomish word. It's basically like the gnomish equivalent of like, well, voila. So you could say voila. That's the word basically to turn it.
Voila.
So yeah, could I study it
damn
before
it.
we leave?
If you say voila, does it turn back? Or is
Yes.
there another command word?
The yeah, I guess there'll be a different command word. So
I was going to say, otherwise you're going to have some crafty guy who's like, oh, all right, voila, and then they just run away from their handcuffs.
it's it's deja vu because that's a word, and that turns it back into silk.
For some reason, it all just sounds like hoity-toity-toy.
Yeah, pretty much. So, if you're looking at it, it's completely different than anything you're used to. It is not made with like clerical kind of magics or anything like that, or forge magics. It's actually done with like rather sophisticated illusory magic.
Oh really? Wow.
Most of the stuff that he does is.
Huh. Yeah, Elkin Shield, here you go.
Okay. Take it.
I think it's going to be super useful in some weird
so
circumstances we do not anticipate.
If it's illusory magic, hey, Vance, you're pretty good at illusory magic, aren't you?
Dabble here and there. Well, when
There
we
is-
get back to town, we can take a look in the old laboratory and see if we can reverse engineer the thing. But
Yeah.
Wait.
So
I got a bad feeling now.
got a totally bad feeling. So he will.
I just got a really bad feeling.
He will basically. He will tell you like say his fond farewells, and he said that he's heading over to the Thorns Wild, and he says good luck on your mission to the Moon Peaks, and we'll see. He's like, and good luck with your 2 corpses. As he like leaves.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we kind of forgot that we're just dragging around corpses.
We're not dragging them around. We have them rolled up in funerary cloth and
On
are dragging them
horses.
around.
So,
To that point, we may have further complications getting into Dwarf Town now that we know there's some kind of weird religious cult that is not Moradin. So, just throwing that out there.
all right. So you guys can go ahead and pull your dudes in down here. You guys spend about 2 hours like walking up the trail basically into the mountains before you hit kind of this this gate. And Johann will warn you. He's like, yeah, the southern gate's coming up. He's like, so this will be the first checkpoint. This is their first line of defenses for people coming up the mountain.
Oh. The way I would suggest we approach it is Hergurtha has like super dwarf ultra armor that's like crafted with scenes of dwarf triumph and stuff on it.
As do I.
So if we want to make it like a funerary procession kind of thing for a fallen hero, which he is, then we may be able to get somewhere with it that we otherwise could not.
Or we could say, we want her, just not the armor. They could keep the armor.
Let's not start with that one, though.
Okay.
It's not ours to give away. It was gifted to Hergurtha by a god.
Yeah.
But yes, that had crossed my mind as a last resort sort of thing. But they don't like bribes, apparently, these weird, like, backwoods mountain dwarves. Unlike regular dwarves who are all about bribes, these guys we can't buy off, so...
First idea would be better.
It's not to say...
I'm thinking...
Yeah, it's not to say they can't be bribed. It's just how you couch it is going to be very important.
I'm thinking the dwarves and Horace lead first. Because,
Yeah,
dwarves first, Horus slowly, behind. But I think that the three of y'all are our emissaries, so to speak. And the rest of us, filthy humans and half-orcs and etc. in the back.
And I think that the dwarves should do most of the talking, too.
That's probably the case, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So you guys make it to about here before you're they call out in Dwarven, like, stop. So
We'll stop.
put your guys
Where's the rest of us?
And Arnie, are you invisible or not? I need to kind of know.
No.
And
Wait, isn't Vance invisible though?
Yeah, he'll pee on a rock and invisible. Diplomacy's more important at this point.
okay, so they yell halt in Dwarven. State your business. Hey.
So I go in Dwarven. And I go, we had to fight back over there, and we lost two of our companions. And seeking a cleric to help them.
That's very sad for you and your compatriots, and we are not unsympathetic. But we cannot allow the humans in.
How come?
You hear one of them say something like, if they let the humans in, they'll tarnish all of our metals. and like that, like you hear that, and it triggers something in your brain. Like that's a really like old-fashioned dwarven belief, like your grandparents kind of belief. They're like, you know, humans, if they humans touch your gold, it'll tarnish all your gold and silver and stuff. Like that's what humans do, they ruin things. It's a very kind of old-fashioned dwarven belief that is not as prevalent these days. And like you hear him say, like, it is the rules.
I kind of whisper back. Not really whisper, but kind of like not loud enough but they can hear it. It goes kind of like relay the information. Oh, they're talking in Dwarven? Oh,
They're speaking in Dwarven.
Okay, so I kind of relay the information to everyone else.
Oakenshield, you may tell them that this group, though, of disparate race and of non-dwarven stock have been chosen by Moradin as
Oh yeah.
emissaries. Simply look at their equipment, their arms and armor, gifted by the god himself. That might do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
I was literally forged by a emissary of Vulcan.
I'm trying to think of a way to say it without being rude.
Listen here, you dwarvy bastards. No, don't do that.
I'm trying to find a way to not be like insulting in a way.
Do you want me to try? Because
I think we should stick with dwarf representation here.
I think
Okay,
do tell me it, I can tell them.
humans ruin metal. Something like one of our humans was chosen by Vulcan himself, or Moradin himself, to be forged and to be heated in the heart of a forge. Is that something that would ruin metal?
I've got one.
Something like that, or
Three non-dwarves ruin metal, but these have been galvanized
yeah.
by Moradin himself and are plated against corrosion. Simply look at their arms and armor, gifted by the god himself.
Ooh, that's pretty damn good.
No metaphor.
I'll kind of say that back in Grove to them.
They'll look and they go, do man often speak for you?
No. I just don't want. I was just trying to think of a way to say that without being rude.
We are
Yeah.
we are cousins, and I do respect you as kin. But the law is the law.
I am the law.
I mean,
There was one thing I could think that would let all of us in, but it's a very, very, very unlikely thing.
what is it?
You should, I don't know, pray again and.
Do you want me to try for another miracle?
That was like a 2% on a D100 last time, man. I don't know.
4%.
I'm not trying to disparage you guys for
5%.
It's 100 minus the level, which his level, and roll above that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also when I allow you to roll it. You can't just like every round I'm just gonna roll it, and
Right.
and if I get a 20, I get a miracle. That's not how it rolls.
That's why I did say it's very, very, very unlikely.
Let's just say it's 100% unlikely at this point. You're gonna have to
Uh,
come up with something else.
you know what? I'm going to
But Horace, you got a helmet on, right? Or no?
I can't take my helmet off.
You can like flap your face, like flap the faceplate up though.
Yeah, I can do that. Why?
Maybe if they see you of like being a metal type thing, they'll probably.
I mean, like, if they haven't already seen that I'm literally forged of an emissary, I don't think they're gonna see it anytime soon.
I don't remember, like 100 feet away. You're just like a guy in armor.
And
I'm going to. I'm
we
going
all
to.
like 30, 40 feet away. So
I'm gonna take a step up beside you, and say, Vulcan sent one of his emissaries down to save my life. Is that something your people would stand against?
what was the name of this?
They all
Is that going
look,
to get translated?
and they like kind of look at each other, and they're like, if Moradin, and he like emphasizes that very hard, sent anyone to do anything, I'm sure he would have let our Forge Master know, and he would be here to let you in himself. Don't present, or don't presupt to tell me about my religion, man.
Oh,
This is like when Christians talk about the Old Testament, and they're like, "We know the Old Testament." The Jewish people are like, "We wrote it." Like, we're the ones who really know what the Old Testament's about.
So, uh, I kind of like.
I don't have a solution for this.
I go. Why don't me and Dongan just go in and at least go in to actually get what we need, and maybe try and get on the good side, and slowly kind of build the trust. Kind of
How
talking to the
slowly do you mean by slowly? Like 100 years, 200?
I'm okay with that idea, but yeah, the time frame matters.
Yeah.
But you get okay. How not slowly, but build the trust. At least
Also, we needed in like 3 days for them to revive Hagurtha, and Heinrich in like 1. Like, it needs to be by tomorrow to revive Heinrich, or he's dead.
Oh, okay, let me rephrase that. We can get the cleric to find a cleric to let's just work them if possible. Then what I meant by like building the trust is trying to get the army.
Well, even if you, so even if you can go in there with Thondon and like just get the cleric to come out here and see that we're legit, that might be a way to approach it. Like, holy shit, these guys are chosen of Moradin. We're not saying Vulcan anymore; it's Moradin now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Moradin's great. Double Moradin.
Why don't you? Yeah, Tossa. Why don't you call them and say, like,
Another option might be that we're representatives of Iron Guard. They're allies. They're buddies. Maybe if we're official government people and we start flashing our FBI badges around, they might help us out. In fact, his
to...
Tasso is the Sheriff of Irongard. A dwarf
Yeah.
has been elevated to maximum human ass-kicking peasant stomping status. That's worth something.
Not to be like I don't want to start anything, but like I kind of just want to tell them like, then bring out this Forge Master of yours.
That's 100% the worst thing you could do. I don't want Horus to be flattened into a metal ingot.
Listen. They'll be going against their god. They'll surely be struck down or something.
Oh no, man.
Wait, so me and Diane should go in there to get the cleric to come out.
Yeah, to get like the Forge Master, whoever it is, to
Let's try the sheriff thing first, man. I mean, they may have like political obligations we don't know about. And like I said, a dwarven sheriff of the human country might be worth something to them to show like that you've got big clout with their allies or something.
But the kind of the downside to that, what if they actually don't like the Iron Golem?
All they do is tell them they're
trade with them. Yeah, so like they're doing business with them at the very least. I don't think they're enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah, worst case scenario, they would be neutral to them because they do trade with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so there may be some sort of like, you know, government or ally obligation thing we don't know about.
Okay. So, I'm going to say that we need to get the cleric to help us with business from Argomont to keep the peace in Argomont because I am the sheriff of the kingdom and we need
You see them all like do the like rabble, grumble. As soon as you say like I'm the sheriff of Irongard Mod, and they're like, he's like, do you have papers from your liege?
yeah. Don't we? Right?
You do.
No.
You do actually have like you have paperwork that says like you are the sheriff, like so that you can walk into town and go like this is the king and his or this is the vice count and his seal, and he says I'm in charge. So yes, you do have that.
Okay. So I go yes I do, and I got proof. Now I kind of slowly reach in my pockets to kind of show them.
Bring it forth.
So I walk up to the person I'm talking to and hand them the papers.
Okay, so he looks over it and he's like, you can hear him like grumbling under his breath, like. An emissary must be honored according to the law. But is a sheriff an emissary?
God.
And you hear like from behind the gate, like the clanking of stuff being opened, and a figure rushes out. So like you're here with said dude. He met you like halfway. And this guy comes running, or comes walking out, not running. He's probably the biggest dwarf you've ever seen.
Oh my god.
He's probably close to 5.5 feet tall. Whereas the average dwarf is probably like 4,
like 4 foot.
about 4 foot tall.
Oh my god, that's massive.
He's really big, comparatively. Hold on 1 second.
Lauren Doubleshin. I know that guy.
Ah, damn it, it's not the Forge Master. Okay.
Oh no, I know him. In
So-
fact, him and Vance were in a video game together about 20 years ago.
Wait,
See,
what?
he comes out basically, and he's like, he looks, and he's like, "Are those official papers or not?" And the guy like looks back at him, and he goes, "It says he's a sheriff. Sheriffs aren't necessarily." He's like, "You don't get to make that call." He's like, "They are representatives from Iron Guard. They should be let in." And he's like, you can tell he's like the guard guy's kind of, there's a tension between these two. And he's like, "Fine, but it's on you." He's like, "I don't care." Like, you can tell he's just like, "Don't really care. Sure, it's on me. It's on me." And the guy will go back and grow into a giant, and then go back, and
But
this guy will come up and look at you, and he'll be like, he's like, "If I caught your name correct, it is Oakenshield."
yes, sir. And your name is?
I'm talking, when you look at him, he looks younger than you. So when you're like sirring him, even though his picture's pretty like, that, but he does look a little bit younger than you. And he looks at you, and he's like, I'm Brith Moonax, sir. And like he clasps your hands. He's like, "So you are from the human settlement? You are from Iron Guard?"
Yes.
He's like, "Oh, it's about time that you guys showed up. We have so much to discuss. Come." And he's like waving to your like entourage. He's like, "Come."
Go, guys, come in.
Wait, yeah, all of us come or what? Or just.
Yeah, he's waving all of you.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
So all of you are walking. So
As the kind of everyone else is walking up, I want to thank Moonax for that. And he goes, once we get into town, I should buy you a drink.
it's like, I would appreciate that. He's like, we have much to discuss. I'm just glad someone is here. And he, as you guys walk up, he introduces himself to all of you. He's very cordial. He's very formal, but cordial. Just like, shakes your hand, like, "Brith Moonax, it's a pleasure to meet you." Shakes each one of your hands, basically, with a very firm grip. He's like, "Please, come." And you guys start walking up the trail. So you end up walking for probably another couple hours. Is there anything you want to ask him while you guys are walking?
As I'm walking, I just want to say, I did not mean to cause any troubles when I had my little outburst. Just not take kindly to being not really ridiculed, but judged.
He's like, "I don't blame you." He's like, "Listen, I understand what it is to be an outsider in this little environment that we're going to." He's like, "But," he's like, "you have to mind your tongue." He's like, "If you do something like that to one of the elders, they will shut down." He's like, "I won't say that they're going to do anything awful to you, but they will not hear your business, and they will not hear your pleas."
Of course, thank you for seeing us like this.
Master Moonax, you say you're an outsider to the Moon Mountains. From whence do you Does your family come? Are you from Rockholm?
No, I am. It's a long story, but let's just say I'm not from. I'm from here, but I'm not from here. I'll get into it more. He's like, my lineage is also at times questioned. My mother was not a dwarf.
I meant no disrespect, of course, to you, your family, your lineage, or your kin.
No, 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 no. No disrespect. He's like, this is why I have problems with them calling all men, vile creatures that ruin their treasures. Like, my mother was of man. And I.
Not wrong. I'd say like 79% of the time, it's fair.
He'll chuckle.
Yeah. Truth be told, we're here, well, for selfish reasons, as you can see, hoping that your people can use their mighty powers and connection with the divine to assist our unfortunate friends, but also is well, purely political matter that these lands are under siege. There's much evil afoot, and if we do not unite against it, then doom is certain.
Well, they do have a formidable army here, but I don't know about their cooperation. They are ruled by a strict set of code that is very old, and I am but a recent arrival to this land. And as he's walking in, you guys basically see a giant carving of a big bronze mask as you guys start walking into the main tunnel, basically, that leads to the Dwarven city. Let me pull up said Dwarven city.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, the big thing with the Dwarven city is the when you're coming in and you're like walking down the streets, there's tons of these buildings, but at least 75% of them are empty. They're boarded up or they're empty and very, very you can tell that this place used to be a lot more populated, but their population has very much decreased and kind of shrunk.
What in the world has happened here?
Yeah, that is the opposite of what I wanted to hear when I saw this giant dwarven metropolis.
Yes.
Unfortunate.
So, what is it? Now that you're here and you hear the name of the city, because it's like written, Dol Karak, the dwarves of the city. Let me turn the music down just a hair. I love this song though. But you recognize it. There used to be like several dwarven kingdoms, and now there's pretty much only Rockholm. Like over time, the dwarves have basically become like a race that didn't breed quick enough. They got into too many fights, and their population was in decline. And a lot of the dwarven like kingdoms got destroyed. Dol Karak was one of them, or at least it was thought to be destroyed. And
kind of like the Mayans, anyway.
Not really the Mayans, but it's just like this used to be some like big, like kind of sprawling kind of metropolis, and it probably had little sub cities and things like that branched off from it. But now it's like something. It's a shadow of its former self. But it used to be this great, amazing city. It was called the Mithril City. And it was this amazing city that, like, was known for its scholarship and engineering and its learning. And, like, was, like, the heart of Dwarven knowledge, was this place. And these dwarves, basically, like, they've lived here in isolation for thousands of years. So they've just had their little trade kingdom, and they just like did their little trades and just kind of went on with life. And that's kind of what they did.
As we walk in and see like everything is boarded up, I'm just gonna ask, what happened here?
He's like, he looks at you with like as dour an expression as he can, and he's like, "We're a dying race. 60-70% of dwarves are born sterile."
Oh.
It's that glowy stream.
We also have a birth rate that 75% of our births are male.
That is not a good combination.
No.
Looks like I know what the quest is going to be.
We live here, or we have lived here for a very long time, and but this place has changed. He's heading towards the middle, like this like thing in the middle.
Are there any dwarves that are just looking at us like, who in the hell allowed you in?
Yep. Johan will mention to you, he's like, if you fellas don't mind, I'm gonna go and visit me home, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's like, all right.
And not be seen with you.
He starts heading towards 12, which is called Gnome Home, and that's where the gnomes live down here. And he basically kind of teeters off. But like I said, if you guys want to ask Brith any questions, you can. If not, I'll move on to the next scene.
I do want to ask him what's the do's and don'ts in here.
He's like, just be mindful of your manners and speak from a place of honor. They are very concerned about it here. They are very stuck in their ways. He gives you kind of the grand tour too. He points out things as you guys are kind of walking by. So, you know, he points here and he's like to this number 4 here, and he says, you know, that's the Hall of the Stone Shoulder. That's their clan. They are the warriors, and the battle, the defenses of our city are done there. And he'll point to this big ass building over here, and he's like, that's the Hall of the Rift Song. He's like, the engineers, the scholars, the metallurgists, they reside there.
Who is the Forge Master? I heard the dwarves outside
This giant
angrily say his name at him. Say his name at me.
This big like thing at number 2 here. He goes, that's the ancient forge. He goes, that is the seat of religion here. Moradane and Baranar, True Silver, are honored in the ancient forge.
I'm assuming it would be sacrilege for me to go close to it.
Probably at this point.
Shame.
And then he'll point to the number 1 way back here, and he's like, that's the Hall of the Arn Skull. The Arn Skull are the smiths, the armorers, the laborers, the weapon makers, the weaponsmiths, things of that nature. They keep the lifeblood of the city going. And we head to the Citadel of the Sleeping King. That is where the Regency Council meets.
And where is that?
It's dead center.
Ah, alright. It's the building that looks like alright.
So So you enter the building, and dwarven guards basically escort you. Now, the entire building is basically carved, or is not carved, but is plated in mithril, like the entire building. And
Like, how thick plates of mithril?
It's probably just like gilded, like plated on top of it. But there's gemstones that pretty much line everything. Golds and silvers also are there. Some metals that you don't even know, like you haven't even seen. Like there's like this green metal that has these like blue streaks that go through it.
Being a forge cleric, I haven't even seen them.
Yes, being a forge cleric, you have not even seen this. Like, these are not your everyday metals. They escort you basically to like a holding room, and they basically just sit you down there, and Brith is like, I've got to go make them aware of your presence, and I will see what I can do to hopefully get you an audience. And
We certainly appreciate it.
he will go off. So you guys sit around for probably, I don't know, 5 hours. Unless you're going to do something, unusual. But
Hands in our pockets.
Yeah.
Everybody's good.
Can I look around the room and see, like, if I can get a feel for the metal?
It's mostly mithril.
Alright.
Yeah, it's very mithril oriented. So that's the key to it. So where is my? Eventually,
If they weren't assholes, this city would be amazing.
after 5 hours, like a representative comes in, a guard comes in, who's basically like in this like beautiful like dwarven plate, carrying like a halberd, and you can tell that the axe is made out of some sort of like reddish metal, and he says in Dwarven, like, the council will see you now.
Well, that's our cue, boys. Maximum prostrating before authority and sordid rituals of obsequy and whatnot, I think, yes?
Dwarves talk, right? Only the dwarves talk?
I think we should lead with that, certainly, until we're given a cue otherwise.
Yeah. Alright.
He would also like to say adjectives, but he can't think of them.
So something like we are official representatives of Vanguard and the kingdom's in trouble, but also help our dead friends out. Something along those lines.
Wait.
They're critical to stopping the bad.
Have we brought our dead friends into here, or are they still
We're
outside?
gonna leave them outside, like tie them up to a tree? What are you thinking? They're the honored dead, man. That was our whole shtick.
I mean, do we just have two dead people laying on the table in here?
And a funerary cloth on an honored bear. B-I-E-R. I don't know how you say it.
It's gonna get very Pulp Fiction. Like, do we look like dead human storage? Why are you bringing them around?
Yeah,
Listen, we've come this far. We gotta keep rolling with it. They'll chalk it up to our crazy human ways. No respect for the dead.
Hey, we'll just slap a helmet on them and just pretend they're drunk. They're just hold them up.
Weekend at Dulcarna.
Oh, this is gonna go so bad so quick.
So, the first thing you notice when you enter the room is sitting on a throne that's like on a dais in the middle of the room is a completely mithril like statue, what appears to be a statue of a king that looks exactly like this picture. Like just sitting there, like in this ornate carved throne with like just gemstones and all this like beautiful like jewelry and stuff like that, just sitting there, like, you know, there. So, in the room is Belgar Ironhammer.
Is he the Forge Master?
Yep. Werdak Cragbeard. Thagrum Broadshoulders. And Lortimer Mountain Belt. Along with Brith Moonaxe, he is there as well. And you come in and they're all sitting like on like smaller kind of chairs below the statue. There's 4 of them there. You've heard just through like them talking, they call this the Regency Council. There's a representative from each of the clans and then 1 religious person here as well. So, the Belgar Ironhammer will speak up with his like gruff kind of low voice. And he speaks in common, and he's like, "We will speak in your language as a courtesy."
Does Eric Arnie doesn't speak Dwarvish, does he?
He does not, no.
Okay.
Orcish and common.
I speak Pixie, which we haven't really run across any as of yet.
You have come here as representatives of Iron Guard Mott. Speak your piece to the citizens of the Mithril City. And he like folds his hands like in a very kind of Mr. Burnsian kind of way, like where his fingers are all like touching each other as he listens.
Time to go to Dondon real quick. You want to do the talking or me?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to say that we were working for Iron Gold month, and they're getting attacked by a group of hobgoblins that are causing some troubles within the land. And we believe sometime in next spring they're going to have enough force to pretty much wage a war against us and the land. And we lost 2 of our companions the other day, and we're asking some help from you to deal with them.
You see he kind of like looks around at like each of the other members. And what is it? Werdak Cragbeard, the warrior, Stone Shoulder clan representative. He's like, "Why should we be concerned about these hobgoblins? We are safe here in our city. The hobgoblins bother us not."
I go to him and goes, "Don't you guys do some trading in Iron Mod?"
I assume that the hobgoblins will want to trade once the humans are eliminated. We were here before the humans, and we will be here after.
Tasa, do you mind if I speak up for a sec?
Hold on. You can say something after this.
Hmm.
Don't you have good relationship with the humans now?
We have a mutually beneficial relationship right now. But if they went away, it might hurt business and might hurt us slightly, but it is not worth going to war over.
This is the warrior guy?
Yeah.
I go.
Cragbeard.
How do you know they won't come for you next? Or if they're willing to trade with you?
We can hold up here as long as we need to.
Ryan, where are the elves again?
They're in the Thorns Wild Woods.
Ah. Tasa, you mind if I...
Isn't that the northern, just north of Angomalt or Helix, right?
It's to the south. It's all the way,
south.
it's further south.
South, okay.
It's a little further south than where you are now, and it's a lot further west.
Okay.
You mind if I speak up, Tasa?
Yeah, you can go.
I look to each of them before saying, based on our information, the hobgoblins will attack this city, the elves, the humans, and all in this land, trying to subjugate all of them before finally moving into the Barrowmore to claim what they think is rightfully theirs.
You see Lortimer Mountain Belt, the Smiths and Workers clan, and he's like, let them come. If they wish to throw away their lives trying to break into our halls, mightier beasts have tried it. The humans now call for our aid. Where were the humans when beholders besieged our kingdom? Where are they now? As the denizens of the dark, you topsiders believe that the world exists solely in what you can see. We have our own problems here, and we have our own issues to deal with. He looks at the council, he's like, let the humans deal with their own problems. Topsiders, let them do it. We stay here.
I go and I would say it in a kind of respectful manner. All due respect, what is your problems?
More than your brow can handle, Topsider. Brith Moonaxe at this point will chime up and say, like, but distinguished members of the council, surely you know that the hobgoblins will grow as a threat. We will fight this war one way or the other. And they're like, if you wish to take your band of warriors and you wish to go and help the humans, you can do as you see fit. You are not technically a citizen of this city. He's like, it pains me to hear you say that, my lords. He's like, I have always shed blood and felt it was my duty to help.
And I do want to say, I want to point out too, I am the sheriff of Angomont, so I do have some political, you know, sway in the kingdom, which we could use to help you.
Don't try to bribe the man.
He goes,
I'm not bribing them. I'm saying,
he goes, and what could we use from the people of Ironguard Mott? It seems that they need us more than we need them.
We
I don't know, but you could tell us what we need, and I could try and get those stuff for you, resources to help deal with whatever you guys are going through.
Even if we wanted to, Belgar, the forge master, will chime up. He's like, even if we wanted to, the law states that we cannot move to war unless war is brought to us. And he like points, and this is at this point you guys realize like around the entire room are these giant slabs basically of mithril that have been carved into, and there's like dwarven language written into it, and it's like it's equivalent to kind of like verses from the Bible, and it's like written out, and like each verse is basically kind of like a statement.
Man.
Like in order to like live your life by or to like rule the kingdom by, and they're all like attributed to the mithril shield. Like that's what that's who like the quote is attributed to. The law states that we will not make aggressions without aggressions pushed against us. So we cannot violate that, even if we wanted to, even if we wish to help. It is against the wishes of our liege.
But don't you see? War has come to you. If not now, in less than 2 years, they will be at your door.
And in 2 years, then we might have to defend ourselves. But until that day, the law is the law. We cannot be dragged into something. We are not as numerous as we once were. And we have many adversaries down here in the depths. Many creatures have made their way into our world, and we are defending it the best that we can. But I respect your plea and to come here for your people that you care about. There is honor in that.
Yeah. Right. So, kind of a side, kind of, that's like a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is like the Dwarven like we cannot be the aggressor?
That's
Does that
not
state, like,
that's not a law that like your people have. Like
yeah.
that's,
No.
you guys
Is it
you guys can aggress all you
aggressive
want.
Is it aggressive to them, or is it like dwarf in general?
You don't know because you're not familiar with this society and their like rules.
Okay.
They're a different duck.
So, if what I'm hearing is true, if a few of your problems were to be solved, you could assist the people up above?
That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is until the problems come to us, until the aggression is brought to us, we cannot step in and interfere.
I go. Wouldn't isn't the aggressive came to you guys when they attacked you brotherly, Oaken Shields, and Blackbeard?
I trust that you speak the truth, brother, but I also cannot say that it is going to swell an entire army that hobgoblins attacked two of our kind who apparently made it out.
Yeah.
If we went to battle every time something of that nature happened, we would never stop the war.
Hey, Ryan?
Yep.
Who were those dwarves we met in Stonehell? Did they ever say where they came from?
No, but one of them has the exact same last name as one of the guys on the council.
Who was that again?
Was it Snorri Broad Shoulders, Master Engineer?
It might be. Yes. On the council, there is a Thogrum Broad Shoulders, and he represents the Scholars and Engineering clan.
Okay, well... Okay, guys, I'm gonna say something. I'm not going to be rude, I'm going to say something, though.
When you say it like that, I get the feeling like you're about to be rude, so...
I'm not going to be rude, trust me. I'm just going to ask him, if a cousin of his is delving into Stonehell because his last name seems familiar, and then we can work off that.
Well, I was going to say that.
Thogrum will say, "Aye, my brother is in the tunnels. He decided to go study the Dwarven architecture."
You do know that the hobgoblins have been taking over and desecrating everything they come across, correct? Including that of the dwarves.
Go ahead and roll 3d6 under your honor trait. Because that's, if anything, a half lie.
Well, no, isn't it?
They haven't disgraced anything.
I thought they disgraced everything. Like they subjugated everything they came across.
They might subjugate things, but they haven't disgraced any of like the monuments or anything. I'm talking.
Didn't they?
Their very presence is disgraceful, though.
I would say that you could say that, but that's kind of a half truth. You haven't witnessed something directly.
Oh, then I'm not gonna say that then, because I thought they were desecrating stuff.
Not specifically, not anything you've seen, and you've never seen them. The only things that Snorri ever helped you with were orcs, not hobgoblins. So you don't have a huge case.
Never mind then. I thought they were desecrating like dwarf halls and stuff.
No, they have a base, but they aren't just like walking around like carving out Dwarven architecture. Now they could be doing that, but you've never seen it.
It was a good try, though.
Solid try. They will. The council like looks and says, because you are representatives from Ironguard, we will deliberate this matter about assisting Ironguard on private. You have made your case, and we understand what it is. Do you have any other business before the council?
Have we gotten the impression that they're like anti-human, or that the rest of us can't speak up at all, or?
They've
not
been
so much.
Do you want to say something?
they've been freely talking with Boris.
But that might also because
and they're speaking common. So if anything, they're lowering themselves to speak another language for you.
I do want to say something, but it might.
Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Don't be rude.
It'll
You don't walk into somebody's house and shit on the floor, man. I'm just saying.
Don't be rude. Please, God, don't. They said they will consider our plight. Don't be rude.
If there is no more business in front of the council, we will convene.
Yes, I would like
if we
to.
may.
I would like to ask if our crew may be allowed to use the city in the various shops around town. If you'd accept our coin.
For diplomatic goodwill, yes. You have free roam of the city, but you will be expected to obey our laws and the laws of the Mithril Shield.
Regents of the Mithril Shield, Lords of Dwarfdom, forgive me if I'm being too forward, but my friends and bosom companions here, out of an abundance of with caution and timidity before your great halls of the written word of the Mithril Shield, I think have danced around the main issue that has brought us to your mighty fortress. If you would not march to war against an enemy you have not ever seen, then that is fair. That's to be expected, I would think. A ragtag group of adventurers marching out of the mountains, demanding that your soldiers stand to and move against a foe that has not brought ruin to your own halls is patently ridiculous, and I understand in some small way your reasoning, I hope.
They're all like nodding in unison as you're saying this.
But if you would not wield axe against a common foe that the manlings have and my own race, perhaps we could wield our own sword arms against a common foe. You will not have overlooked the fact that we are a funeral train, more than a train of warriors. We bear the honored dead with us. And at that point, Vance will whip off the funeral cloth, at least from Hagurtha's body, to reveal the shining, glorious Moradin etched plate mail, forged by the hand of a god's representative.
Yep, there's a audible gasp in the room from like everyone, guards, like Brith, all the council members, like a. And then you hear them talking in Dwarven, and they're speaking really fast. So unless you're a native dwarf speaker, a la a dwarf, even if you know Dwarven, it's really hard to keep up. Because there's they're basically like, oh my god, what is this? How could this be? And they're looking and they're like, and then you hear the Forge Father kind of bang his hand on his chair, and he's like, silence. And he stands up and he walks over to the armor and he looks at it.
Thankfully, I made it so she doesn't rot.
Fucking A.
I will have to look at this myself and make a determination if this is holy or if this is a trick.
Sir.
Forge Master, while you examine poor slain friend's armor, perhaps you should take a look at Thondon Blackbeard's axe, Thorin Oakenshield's blade, Horace Sherwood's armor, or in fact my own, and I will take off my robes and display the mithril coat forged by the god Moradin himself.
Well,
And
emissary,
Arnie's
but
gonna
yeah.
show off his boots. They're
Oh,
dwarf.
no, don't do that. We stole those.
Yeah, don't do that.
You stole those from a dead dwarf.
Those are dead guy boots. Arnie puts on an extra pair of shoes over his boots.
Yeah, I'm wearing 2 sacks over my feet.
He looks
We
and
do
he's
not
like,
fear to deceive you, friends and allies. But we are allies in this fight. Do not mistake it. And
What?
though I would not ask you to send your sons to war, at least help us fight the battle before us.
would you submit these items to me for a limited period of time for examination?
How? I have a I can't particularly take this armor off.
Though, yeah, indeed, there are complications. We
As
would
He'll look
not
at
have
forged into it.
he'll look at you, Horace, and he'll like raise an eyebrow, and he goes, "Then I guess you'll just have to come into the ancient forge with me."
Of course.
You hear like the council members like grumble, 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 grumble. Manlings in the sacred church.
my only request, my lord Forge Keeper. Yeah, there we go. My lord Ironhammer would be that Agertha Torgrimson, who you see
Her body,
slain before you.
her body will be kept in the temple as well.
Indeed.
And you see him like look at a couple guards, and they come over and with like extreme reverence, like pick up the body, and they seem to be like as gentle as these like hardened dwarf warriors can be. That's what they're being. They're being incredibly tender with her body, and they're like slowly moving her out of the room. He looks
Deep
back
bow
and
and
he looks back and he goes, "Lortimer." He's like, "Put up our guests in the finest establishment that we have." And you see him like nod his head slowly. And he's like, "We will reconvene on these matters. We must have a discussion." And then they'll look around. They're like, "You all are dismissed."
deep bow back out.
Where do I go?
You will be summoned when needed.
Of course. And I'm gonna leave with the rest of them, I guess.
And as you're like walking out, the Forge Master will look at you and he's like, "Go with Mordain in your faith." And like that's it. Like he just like kind of gives you kind of like a little like, you know, tokenism. So as you guys are kind of like in the outer like chamber area, Brith is there and he's like, "You all were on to something." He's like, I don't know if we can convince them to go to war. They're like, "But I do know that the law of Moradin states that they cannot use their magics on anyone that is not of dwarven nature. In fact, they even struggle at times to use their magics with me. But if it comes down, the law states that they cannot use their magic, but if it comes to a matter of honor, and they owe a debt to those that are, and they are honor bound to repay it, they must repay it in full in order for them to have a clear conscience. Part of their concern is the fact that an ancient evil that we thought was long stowed away has managed to slip out and is creating, it's able to enter the minds of dwarves and elves and men and take them over, and it creates all sorts of evils. and it's buried deep in one of their most prized mines, and now they cannot get to it. If we lead a group of men into there and we defeat this ancient evil, I feel that they will have a debt of obligation to you.
Well, I will admit this is not entirely unexpected.
It is the nature of politics.
Brothers, you think we're the men for the job?
Uh,
Barney is ready.
I guess we have to be.
Well, if we're talking about debts owed, I think that more than one of us owes our lives at least 1 or 2 times to poor Gertha.
Of course. I mean, she saved me from a troll.
It's like we can take a day or two here in order to get our bearings. You can rest, get a feel for the place, but we should head out sooner rather than later. Every day we
Indeed.
wait, the thing becomes more powerful.
Well, and every day we wait, our friends slip further into the darkness of the afterlife. If indeed your high dwarves here in Dolkar can help them, then we must move with alacrity. There's no choice.
Heinrich's gonna be gone completely tomorrow, I think.
Well, not if they're super magic.
Well,
Right, Ryan?
it's 4 days per level. They are above what they minimum need to cast it. They can go. So if this Forge Father's like 10th level or 12th level, they can go like half a month.
Oh.
Yeah, if we found a Bush League cleric who's only like 7th level, like an idiot, then it'll only be a couple days.
He radiates the aura of like fuck off. Like he radiates the aura of like I'm pretty good at what I do. He's pretty mordained out. Brit will tell you, he's like, I will travel with you and I will help to aid you on this quest. If you would have
Well
me.
then, it's an accord.
I will bring some of my men, and I'm sure if we visit the temple, one of the Slayers will come with us as well.
The Slayers?
I will need one.
The blue painted guys with like 7 axes in each hand and no shirt.
Yes, those, exactly. So, for the dwarves, that's a really old concept too. Like, Slayers don't exist anymore, like in modern Dwarven society. They were like an old hangover. So basically they're like dwarves who felt that their honor was disrespected. So they basically swear an oath to just like go out and die, but die in glorious honor, like battle to reclaim their honor.
Oh.
Yeah, they just like, they don't wear armor. They just run out there and just kick ass and take names, and that's what they do. And they kill big monsters.
Oh my god.
Hurry's away.
So, all right.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be rough.
So what we're gonna do is I'll call it here. During the week, y'all can do any preparation, or if you want to look around the city and I can describe stuff to you, I can do all of that. When we start next week, we're gonna start with like the dungeon delve. Like we're gonna start delving. So that's where we'll begin with the next week, if everyone's cool with that. If that sounds good.
Rat me in.
So, better quality stuff, like the quality of stuff they have here, is it like, does it actually have a stat boost compared to the stuff we would find in Iron Guard?
It could, yes. It depends.
Ah, nice. Okay.
And it also depends if they'll sell it to you. So that's kind of a thing.
I mean, don't they
Come
have to
on.
out of like, oh well.
Yeah, you guys are gonna get whatchamacallit, Grum into your party as well.
Oh, that's badass.
That looks to me like the World Dwarf Entertainment Champion 2021.
You have a mohawk?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
That's badass.
His axes have beards.
So,
Yeah, bearded axe are absolutely bad. Aren't they like not the most sturdy though?
I don't
Bearded
think that
axes.
they're not like
Maybe.
that extreme. Like I think a bearded axe is a real thing though, and like Vikings use them.
so
Much
Uh,
smaller than that.
someone's gonna have to run Brith, and someone's gonna have to run Grum. So y'all can decide who wants to do that. But Johan will not be coming with you.
Okay.
Hi, buddy. Appreciate it.
I can run Grum if you. Grum is gonna be Grum is the Slayer, right?
Yeah,
I can run Grum.
Grum.
I have.
Grum,
If anything, you guys have seen how suicidal my characters are.
yeah, Grum tends to just run at things and try to kill it. That's his job. So yeah, y'all can check out their character sheets and stuff and stats, and they're good to go. Actually, for all those playing at home, here's the character sheets for said characters.
Can you do show to everyone or show to players or whatever? Yeah.
They should be. And if you look in the Mithril City file.
Give us edit. You got to give us edit permission to see their character sheets.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. There you go. Brith should be good now.
Yes. Oh, son of a bitch. Dude knows what's up.
Oh, damn, Brit.
Man,
Grum
are
too.
we the retainers for these guys?
You guys aren't
Is
that.
that what's happening?
You guys aren't
Yeah,
that far
we're
off.
the-
Grum's a little better than you, but he's not that much. Like Brith is a little better. But maybe that's my sign of like y'all gonna need it.
Oh my god!
Guys, I think we're the hirelings on this mission.
Yeah, really.
We better get paid in advance.
Me and Bob Moonax got similar stats. The only thing he beats me is in intelligence and wisdom. Everything else I put.
And HP. HP is pretty big.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, but can they cast fog cloud?
Oh wait, they have a Ryan. They have throwing hammer in here. I need to get me a throwing hammer.
Oh, okay. You can get a throwing hammer.
Oh.
All right. So I will. We will be there next time doing the thing. So.
Yes.
All right. Oh, real quick, just to let you all know.
Could we get like a list of stuff we might be able to buy or something? Or would we ask that throughout the week?
You can just ask, like, do they have X, and I will tell you if X is there. This is the known
Okay.
world that we're using, like, kind of as our map. So, if you go down to, like, where it says, like, where the rivers all fork, right? And so, at the very bottom, there's Lewin, the city. If you go straight north of that and hit the mountains, that's roughly where you're at in the world. So, Rockholm.
so you said go to Lunin.
You go straight north until you hit mountains,
Okay.
and you're roughly in that area. That's kind of the little area of the world. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, like, where it says B4 on the map. If you go to the left, like, that's roughly where your, like, that treasure map led. So each of these hexes is 24 miles, so it's a little bit of a jaunt. But yeah, that's kind of the lay of the world. Just so y'all know.
Don't.
Okay.
All right, sports fans.
All right, I'm gonna
Same bat time, same bat channel.